10 amazing animals that can detect human diseases. Dogs are not the only animals with a powerful sense of smell. Researchers have found that many other animals, such as bees, rats, and even sharks, have the potential to detect cancer in humans. By using specialized training techniques, these animals have been able to recognize the scent of cancerous cells in breath, urine, and sweat samples. In addition to these animals, cats, sea lions, elephants, bats, and dolphins have also shown promise in the field of cancer detection. By harnessing their unique abilities and utilizing the latest technology, scientists are exploring ways to make cancer detection more accurate and less invasive for patients. With the help of these incredible creatures, we may one day be able to detect cancer earlier and save more lives. Number 10. Rats. In 2021, Korean researchers conducted a study to explore the ability of trained rats to detect the presence of lung cancer via the odor-producing liquid toluene. To test their notion, the researchers had the rats jump onto a floating ledge when they could smell the toluene. The rats were presented with real human breath samples collected by humans breathing into plastic bags and sealed. To ensure accuracy, the samples were then spiked with toluene by the scientists. After carrying out over 1,000 tests, the rats achieved an accuracy rate of 82%. Number 9. Bees. Bees are now being utilized to detect diseases like tuberculosis and diabetes due to their keen sense of smell that can pick up on just a few molecules of a substance in a room. Moreover, they can be trained far quicker than animals such as dogs, and their antennae can differentiate between multiple scents. Susana Soares, a Portuguese product designer, has created a device known as Bees, which allows users to breathe into a chamber and, once the bees have been trained using a sugar reward to recognize certain chemicals, they can detect the presence of disease. Number 8. Pigeons. In a rather strange, if not downright weird, experiment, researchers in the US decided to test whether pigeons could detect breast cancer from images. Amazingly, they can do this like humans, even though the brain is only the size of a fingertip. However, your brain is very powerful, especially when it comes to images. They have been shown to memorize up to 1,800 images and distinguish between people, facial expressions, and even letters of the alphabet. Pigeons in cancer research were trained to distinguish between microscope images of cancerous and non-cancerous tissue and were rewarded for providing the correct answer. When presented with unseen images, they were able to apply what they had learned and correctly differentiate the images even if the images were enlarged or reduced or discolored. It is believed that these pigeons could help validate future image-based cancer detection methods. Number 7. Ants. Ants have highly sensitive antennae which enables them to detect a variety of substances that are undetectable to humans. Scientists have recently discovered that these same antennae can detect chemical compounds released by cancerous tumors in urine. This finding has prompted researchers to consider whether ants can be trained to detect cancer early in a cheaper and less invasive way. To do this, researchers use rewards such as sugar water to reward the ants for correctly identifying the presence of cancerous compounds in urine samples. When the sugar water is removed, the ants remain in the presence of the urine samples because they are expecting the reward. Number 6. Dogs. Man's four-legged companion had to be included in this list somewhere. Dogs' sense of smell is estimated to be between 10,000 and 100,000 times stronger than ours, so it's not surprising that they are also able to detect cancer. Dogs can recognize cancer through expelled matter, such as breath and urine, similar to the ants and bees discussed previously. Furthermore, they can even sense cancer before it has had a chance to spread from the original location. The use of dogs to detect cancer is a huge breakthrough, as early detection is key to successful treatment. It is estimated that it takes roughly 300 samples for canines to be trained to recognize the smell of cancer in breath, plasma, urine, and saliva. While some are directly utilizing these dogs to detect cancer, other organizations are looking to harness their ability to create a mechanical nose that can do the same job. This would allow these dogs to continue to live their lives as normal, while still contributing to the fight against cancer. Number 5. Fruit flies. You might not expect it, but fruit flies actually have fewer than half the amount of smell-sensing receptors that bees have. Despite this, scientists in Germany and Italy found that they could be used to communicate more efficiently. In fact, they were able to use genetic engineering to make the flies glow when they detected certain chemicals. For this study, air containing the scent of breast cancer cells and healthy breath tissue was blown at fruit flies. Scientists then observed the fluorescent patterns that appeared on the flies' antennae as they detected the smells. Fruit flies are ideal for this type of research due to their base genome that allows for genetic alteration, their affordability to breed, and their highly sensitive olfactory receptors. Thus, they offer a potential solution to the important task of early cancer detection. Number 4. Worms. In this experiment, researchers from Korea used common roundworms, which are only 1 mm in size, to investigate their response to cancerous cells. Around 50 worms were placed on microscope slides, with both healthy and cancerous human cells. Much to the researchers' surprise, the worms moved towards the cancerous cells, with 70% of the roundworms making their way to the cancerous cells when they were hungry. Scientists have a theory as to why cancer cells consistently attract worms. They emit many of the same odor molecules as rotted apples, which we know to be attractive to other species of worms. To further investigate, researchers are working to see if worms can detect cancer from substances such as urine or breath, rather than from being directly presented with cancer cells. Number 3. Locusts. Like fruit flies, grasshoppers are a scientific staple. Scientists already know a lot about their properties, and even how their brains are wired. When it was discovered that they also had a keen sense of smell, it was natural to explore their use in detecting disease, though not until they were tested for explosives. However, researchers have yet to train these very creepy reptiles to respond to cancer cells. Instead, they attached electrodes to the locusts' brains to see how they responded to gases produced by cancerous and healthy cells. It turns out that locusts are capable of more than just discriminating between healthy and cancerous cells. They can even detect 3 different types of cancer. While this is quite impressive, rest assured that the scientists are planning to replicate the biology behind such a sensitive detection, instead of using live locusts to test patients. Number 2. Cats. The noses of cats are thought to be more perceptive than those of either humans or dogs, and speculation suggests that their sense of smell may be even greater than previously thought. Although there has yet to be any scientific evidence to back this up, many stories suggest that cats can differentiate between smells better than either of the two. It is clear that further research needs to be done in order to understand the full extent of cats' olfactory abilities. In 2010, a woman from Franklin, Tennessee, was saved by her cat's unusual behavior. The feline had been persistently pawing and pouncing on her chest the night before, prompting her to visit her doctor, who discovered she had breast cancer. Similarly, a story made headlines in Canada the year before when a man from Calgary credited his cat, Tiger, with alerting him to his lung cancer. Tiger, who was not previously very cuddly, had been pawing at his owner's left side and is credited with saving his life. Number 1. Humans. The idea that humans can smell cancer has been suggested by a nurse from Scotland, who claims that her superhuman sense of smell allows her to detect the disease. While our noses are not as powerful as those of animals like dogs, she believes that it is possible for some people to pick up on the specific smell of cancer. Numerous studies have shown that cancers can produce distinct odors, so this nurse's theory seems plausible. 12 years before he was diagnosed, Joy Milne, a former nurse, noticed a shift in the odor of her husband's skin. This astute observation was later put to the test in clinical trials, which revealed her extraordinary ability to sense molecules found within the sebum of individuals with Parkinson's disease. She had also noticed a distinctive smell emanating from cancer patients while she worked as a nurse. In 2018, she tested her own olfactory skills by visiting a training center for cancer-sniffing dogs and sniffing masks into which cancer patients and healthy people had breathed. The results were very encouraging, as she was able to accurately identify the mask's owners in most cases. Nevertheless, some sources assert that any smells that humans can detect are likely not the smell of cancer itself, but of symptoms or side effects of treatment. It appears that the issue is still up for debate,